The Federalists and Anti-Federalists had differing ideas over state power versus federal power, representation of states versus representation of the people, and the extent of democratic participation. The Federalists believed in more federal power and that democratic participation should be somewhat limited. The Anti-Federalists believed that states should have more power and that the people should have more participation to curb tyranny. The Federalists and Anti-Federalists had differing ideas over state power versus federal power. The Federalists supported a stronger central government. They believed that this was necessary to protect the rights of the people. They saw the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation and believed this system would not be able to protect the rights of the people. The Anti-Federalists supported more power for the states. They worried that a strong central government in the United States would turn into a tyrannical government like they experienced under British rule. They believed that smaller state governments would be more responsive to the wishes of the people. The Federalists and Anti-Federalists had differing ideas about representation. The Anti-Federalists were leery of the use of representation based on population. They argued that it was impossible for one person to represent so many others. They argued that for a person to represent a group, that group must be united, and that would not occur. They preferred each state having the same amount of representatives. This was how representation was determined under the Articles of Confederation. The Federalists debated these points by arguing that even if a representative did not fully vote the way all of its voters would, the fact that they were elected and re-elected proved that they represented their voters. They also argued that representative government was needed because as the nation grew in population, it would become too difficult to have everyone represent themselves. The Federalists and Anti-Federalists had differing ideas about the extent of democratic participation. The Federalists supported more limited democratic participation. They were fearful of the desires and actions of the population. This is why senators and the president were not directly elected under the original Constitution. They believed this would provide a safeguard against the population choosing what they believed to be the wrong people. The Anti-Federalists opposed limiting democratic participation. They saw this as a step toward tyranny. They believed the further the people were to electing the president or senators, the less they would have to act as the people would want them to.